Hello everybody and welcome back to Thieges YouTube. Pretty much what I do here is I review the most interesting laptops to come through the gaming market, and what I have for you today is from Clevo. This is their P151HM1 gaming notebook. Now what we're going to see in this video is whether or not it's worth your hard-earned tax refund money. You did save that, right?
Clevo is primarily a niche notebook manufacturer that was founded in 1983. Based in Taiwan, Clevo has developed an international presence through their e-enterprise business model. Their main core values are innovation, flexibility in an ever-changing marketplace, and speedy notebook production and delivery. You can acquire Clevo notebooks through many different resellers, mainly Sager, iBuyPower, and Exotic PC, to name a few. Sager rebadges Clevo notebooks as their NP series, and iBuyPower sells Clevo notebooks under their Battalion 101 badges. The 17-inch notebooks from Clevo can be equipped with desktop i7 processors if maximum system performance is your style. This particular notebook, the P151HM1, is sold through the same resellers as either the Battalion 101 P151HM1 or the NP8130 or NP8150. They are always made to order and customizable to the fullest. Clevo's P151HM1 features the latest Sandy Bridge i7 processors, in this case the 2630QM. It also includes the NVIDIA GTX 460M, 4GB of DDR3 RAM, a 7200 RPM hard drive, and a 15.6-inch 1080p screen. Put it all in a shell that weighs a pound less than the Asus G73 and call it a notebook. Let's take a look at what you get in the box. This particular P151HM1 was ordered from iBuyPower. Their shipping box is gigantic. The notebook will ship with a carrying case, which is nice if you don't already have one, but you'll want to get a nicer, roomier case if you plan on actually going places with your notebook. The Clevo notebook itself is packed into a bland box without the Clevo name on it. Inside, you will receive a driver's disc and recovery disc, which automatically one-ups every other bigger name manufacturer to date. The included 120-watt power adapter is very large, and is made by Lydon, the same generic brand that ships with Acer notebooks. Weighing in at 6.83 pounds, the P151HM1 may weigh less than the Asus G73, but it's still a hefty animal if you wear it on your shoulder. The power button, by the way, is on the left of the keyboard. It was very difficult to see under the plastic. Trust me. With the included 8-cell battery, the claimed lifespan is 180 minutes according to Clevo. Expect to get around an hour if you're playing games, and an hour and a half if all you're doing is browsing the web and typing out your homework. Let's see what all those holes in the side do. On the front, we have a couple of indication lights and the infrared port. On the right-hand side, we have the DVD Super Multi-Drive, the headphone, mic, SpeedIF, and line-in ports, a USB port, and the lock slot. On the back, we have the eSATA USB combo port, the HDMI and DVI outs, the DC in, and dual vents. On the left side, we have the Gigabit LAN, two USB 3.0 ports, a fourth USB port that is 2.0, FireWire, and a card reader. The top is as plain and boring as can be, especially since the iBuyPower logo can be easily removed, which is something I'm actually quite fond of. I don't like logos being on the things I wear or use. To me, it looks tacky, but that's just me. The bottom is less featureless, has a few holes in it for airflow, and you can see the subwoofer from here. Let's see what we can toy around with in there. Removing the underside cover, which neatly slides out of place once unscrewed, reveals that everything can be changed in the Clevo. The hard drive, memory, processor, and even video card are easily exposed and can be, depending on your level of expertise, replaced. What's still hidden in this model here is a Wi-Fi card, and completely absent is a 4G modem slot. There are two fans for the ventilation system, one each for the processor and the video card. What I miss here from the Asus G60 is a second hard drive bay, but for that to happen, the battery would have to be protruding and cut off the convenient rear connections. Decisions. The external finish on the Clevo P151HM1 is that of a thin graphite layer. The texture itself can be rather uncomfortable to glide your fingers across compared to a flat, glossy finish, but it is also 100% invincible to fingerprints. Just try not to scratch it, as small scratches form easily and are permanent. For instance, by removing the Windows 7 and THX stickers, I left small scuffs in the finish that cannot be repaired. The Clevo P151HM1 is spec'd for a 900p screen, but all you'll ever find is 1080p. One thing I love about it is that the standard finish is that of matte. You'll be able to set the notebook on your lap with a large window behind you and see the screen very well. It also gets plenty bright. The color quality is good enough for any task, but there is still some vibrance missing if you compare it to the Dell XPS with the Radeon graphics card. The screen doesn't tilt back as far as the Acer 5742 or Dell XPS, but it's more than the Asus G73 and is enough to find a comfortable viewing angle on your lap. The keyboard on the Clevo gives me nothing to complain about. The keys are well spaced and full, and nothing about it will throw you for a loop if you're used to desktop keyboards. You'll be missing out on an illuminated keyboard, but the accuracy is spot on and the feedback is predictable. The ability to manipulate the touchpad is nothing to complain about either, although the texture is, at first, very uncomfortable. The graphite finish of the case extends into the touchpad, and moving your finger across it at first can be rather unsettling. It also has a fingerprint reader smack dab in the center of the buttons, but so far I haven't missed any clicks because of it. Although the sensitivity of the touchpad and the multi-touch gestures can be adjusted, it cannot be permanently disabled. There is a function key shortcut for doing so, but every time you reboot, you'll have to disable the touchpad again. It's a minor annoyance. Like I mentioned before, the Clevo has a 2.1 speaker system with a subwoofer. The volume gets plenty loud, but the overall force and clarity is behind that of the Asus G73 and Dell XPS. A big gripe I have about even the headphones experience is that it is lacking in the bass department, an anomaly I've had yet to experience in my series of reviews. iBuyPower and Exotic PC allow you to change out the standard sound processor with Creative Xfi. I would highly recommend it. This notebook also does include a SpeedF-out, though you will need some very special equipment to take advantage of the output. Hopefully that will be a more full sound experience. On to gaming. This is what the Clevo P151HM1 was built for. The brand new Sandy Bridge i7 2630QM processor mated to the NVIDIA GTX 460M graphics card is a force to be reckoned with. 1.5GB of GDDR5 memory allows you to power through all of the latest games at sub-ultra detail settings and higher resolutions. Thanks to the dual-vent cooling system, temps stay nice and low. The noise level may rise a bit above the Asus G73, but it comes to nowhere near the Dell XPS and is still a reasonable noise level. Also, you will always be comfortable gaming with the Clevo on your lap. It's worth it to note that the GTX 460M in this notebook isn't 3D enabled, but that's okay because 3D gaming will ruin your brain anyway. In conclusion, students get a thumbs down. If you're a student, this notebook will serve as a gigantic distraction, and your slight advantage over other gamers playing Brink or StarCraft 2 with less powerful rigs will go to your head, and your grades will plummet. On a more serious note, it will be a beast of burden on your shoulder when you carry it around campus, and the battery life is too short to sit through a full day of classes. If you want to frag outside of the classroom, I'd recommend a performance and bulk hit with Optimus technology in the new Alienware M14X or the Acer 5742G. Casual gamers will enjoy the Fragfest, but the price puts this a little bit out of your budget, but trust me, the extension is worth it. Fortunately, it appeals, if not even more so, to the competitive gamer. Your budget might be a tad bit higher than the price of the Clevo, but with the coin you save on this rig, you can afford to take a lady friend out to dinner. Har har. There's a comment that'll bite me in the ass. Desktop replacement seekers will find all the connectivity they need, plus a 1080p screen and a numpad. A fingerprint reader is just icing on the cake. I love a good notebook that doesn't beg to have any extra accessories. Business users should shy away from the weight. You might be attracted to the fingerprint reader, 1080p screen, and numpad, but it's a trio of sirens attracting you to an uncomfortable PC using experience with a short battery life.
Okay everybody, thank you for watching my feature presentation of the Clevo P151HM1 gaming notebook. Stay tuned for video game footage. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a good night.